Hello guys and welcome to this new course where you'll learn how to model a cartoon character, a fish in our case, and how to animate this fish using two 3D modeling programs, which are ZBrush and Cinema 4D. In ZBrush, we'll model this fish. It won't be a very complex character since the important part of the course itself will be on the second part, in which we'll work with Cinema 4D to create the skeleton of the character, rigging the model in order to animate its movements afterwards. So basically, we'll use two programs, ZBrush and Cinema 4D. And as for the previous knowledge or experience, this is not exactly an initiation course. It would be necessary for you to have basic notions, maybe at least in using ZBrush, but what I'll explain is quite easy. And I will do it little by little so you can follow me even if you have never worked with it, okay? So let's start. The first tip I'm going to give you is to have a reference of what you are trying to do. In this case, we can go over to a website like Pinterest, and here we search for cartoon fish or water character, whatever it is that you are going to do. We can find different images from many different artists. What we'll do is a cartoon style character, okay? A fish kind of like these ones, for example. So take one of these images, the one you like the most, and well, you can display it in your secondary screen if you have one, in order to see the image at the same time you model the character, okay? What I'm going to do is something similar to this or this, something simple, because the important part is actually made in Cinema 4D, which is where we'll make the skeleton, okay? Alright, so once we've chosen the image and we have a hint of what we're going to model, we open ZBrush. We're going to use ZBrush 8, but you can actually use any other version. After opening ZBrush, you'll see a different interface. So to load the interface I'll share with you, you just have to click Preferences, Config, Load UI, and here we navigate to the file you can find attached to this course, which is an interface preset. So you can work with the one I work, which I customize with loads of handy buttons so you can work more comfortably. Alright, so once we've loaded the file, we'll have to restart the program so the changes are effective. So just close the program and reopen it. Once we reopen ZBrush, we'll have the new interface set up. Now we navigate to Lightbox, and under Project, we bring this sphere to Dynamesh. This one right here, 128, okay. Double click it, and we start modeling. It's quite important to use a graphics tablet for this part. It's not essential, but highly recommended, especially if you want to make the most out of ZBrush. So over time, it will become important for you to get one. So we connect the graphics tablet. Let's see. Great. Here it is. And we can start modeling now. Alright, first we'll uncheck perspective here so we can model without perspective. Okay, we can activate it from time to time so we can check the model with this view. So we uncheck it, and as you can see down here, we have all the brushes to start modeling. With the X key, we toggle symmetry on or off, you see? In this case, symmetry is set to the X-axis, so perfect. We click on Move Topological, and from the top, with the space key, as you probably know, we can open the brush menu. We increase the draw size and we can start modeling, okay? In this case, we would make this part thinner, like this other part longer, and if we hold the Shift key, as you know, we can smooth it out. Since we're working on a sphere in Dynamesh, as you also know, if you hold Control and click and drag on an empty space, you can update geometry, okay? This is especially useful when you stretch a lot the mesh. You know that when you update Dynamesh, just holding Control while you click and drag, you can update the geometry. This is quite important since we'll use this later. Okay, here, as I said, we'll model a fish, a quite easy character, so as you see here, you are quite free to do as you see fit. You can model this form, smooth this out, and we can model tail using a mask. Just hold Control and paint on the model, and then Control and click outside of the model to invert selection. And now, from here, we just stretch a bit here, then Control, click and drag to cancel the mask, then again Control plus click and drag to update geometry. See? As I'm saying, we start with the tail. It would be something like this, more or less. We can smooth this part out. With the inflate brush, we can inflate a specific zone. See? Okay. Now, we'll take one of these parts of the tail and we'll stretch here. Now update geometry, and now we stretch some more here too. Something like this. And update. We keep smoothing it out, and as I said, the form you make is totally up to you. You can create any kind of character as long as it has this fish shape. It can be longer, shorter, more cartoon. It can be not cartoon also. We can even use a picture of any particular fish, and we can set it as background using the draw menu, as you know. Left, right, for example. And in map 1, we can load the picture of the fish seen from the side. So, enabling the floor option here, we would see the image on the background. In this case, as it's a cartoon-style character, we don't have any background picture, but we'll create something easy. We'll create the eyes here using a mask here like this, invert mask, and now we push it in using move topological. Something like this. Let's see, a bit wider here. Great. Using clay buildup, we can model or sculpt without moving so many polygons, okay? So we can just carve like we would do with clay. And with this option here, we can turn up the resolution if we increase this parameter here. And now we update, we will get a higher resolution in the model. Okay, let's do now the fish's fin. Let's paint it like this. And now with Control Alt, we can erase the mask. See? Okay, kind of like this. Now Control, click outside of the model to invert mask. And now from here with Move Topological, we can stretch it and create a little fin like this. We update the mesh now. We can see the tail is a bit too thick. Well, with Trim Dynamic, while we control the intensity of the brush, we can flatten it like this, for example. You can use this part to practice your modeling skills and make a good model. Okay. We update the mesh from time to time. And you know, we can turn up the resolution little by little. All right. We can go on and model the fins on the sides. Like this, a bit more. And you already know we can erase the mask holding Control Alt click, and we paint it with Control click. Invert, Control clicking outside of the model. All right. All right. Now invert. And we extrude the fins out. Control, click, and drag outside of the model to erase the mask, and we keep smoothing the model and updating Dynamesh. Let's flatten the fins with Trim Dynamic, like this. Great. And now with Move Topological, we can, as you know, improve it a little. Like this. All right, now we smoothen the fin on top of the model. And you already know we can use the move option here to make the fish longer or wider. Okay? Okay, let's go with the eyes now. We click Insert and we insert a sphere. Then we divide it and we enable Dynamesh. We click Yes. And we get the... Oh, sorry. So, and we enable Dynamesh. Okay, that's it. And we get the sphere into Dynamesh. Now, let's get it into place. First, we scale it with size, and using Move, we get it into the socket. Okay? We will later make a symmetry. Kind of like this, and we get it where it belongs. Here, more or less. Great. Now we go to the Z plugin menu, Subtool, Master, and here, Mirror. Here we should check Merge into one subtool and set the axis to X-axis. And we get a symmetric eyeball here. Now we can get back here in Subtool to the fish and keep modeling. We can blend in this new geometry we just added like this. Well, Move Topological is better. And finish the adjustments. And using clay buildup, we can fill the parts that need some filling. Like this. Don't be afraid to do it. And then we just smooth it out. All right, for the mouth, we can use Dam Standard, which is here. And since it's symmetric, we can draw a mouth like this. Okay? The way we draw the mouth will determine the facial expression of the model. Okay? In this case, we can draw it happy, angry, as we see. Let's inflate. This part is all about you freely making your character as you like, depending on the references that you took, and make your character accordingly. Now we can use Dam Standard to carve some expression lines here. Okay. My character could be the bad guy in a movie, right? It's getting darker by the minute, right? But why not? He could be the antagonist of the movie. Right. Now we'll keep on damn standard to carve some more lines here, like this, to add some more detail, and we'll do it on the tail as well. Working on this part is when a graphics tablet comes in handy, like this. Okay. And in the sides too. Let's see if it looks good. Cool. We can draw kind of like the belly here. And I think that's pretty much it for me. As I said, it depends on how you want to make your character. Okay, let's finish this part here. And in the next one, we'll keep on with the modeling, we'll color it, and we'll get the UV coordinates to bring the model to Cinema 4D and animate it. So on the next video, we'll see more about modeling and coloring the model. See ya!